Hey guys, welcome back to All Out American. I'm your co-host Tatum. This is your host Cody.
What up, guys?
And we're back with another episode of where we talk about anything and everything, trying to be updated on today's topics. As far as anything, I mean, we're not politics, but we sure try to be.
We're not politics or politicians?
Both.
Oh, perfect. I don't want to be a politician. Politicians are assholes.
Yeah, agreed. We can all agree on that.
We're back. We've been gone.
We had a big gap there as far as bringing out some new episodes. Glad to be back. How was it, dude?
It was good.
You just got married.
I did. Got married. Went on a honeymoon.
New man.
Went to man's land.
Yeah.
Went to Montana.
New Mexico. Oh,
that's not a real place.
My bad. You went to Montana.
No.
My bad. That's cool, dude. You enjoyed it?
I did. It was so much fun.
Gosh, it's so beautiful up there. I need to go. I've only seen pictures and what you sent me.
Yeah.
I mean, but I can't wait to experience that.
You want to know a fun fact about Montana?
Sure.
There are 2.5 cows for every person.
What?
Yeah, so you're 2.5 times more likely to run into a cow than a person. I like those odds.
Wow, that's nice. I mean, but wait, cows kill more people than sharks. So that was a statistic too.
How do they kill more people? Like with heart disease?
No, just with horns, I guess, or
with
trampling.
Horns?
I don't know.
They slap you with their udders.
What a way to go! Being slapped with a tit and dying.
Well, yeah, I think what is it like 6 people die every year from sharks?
But
so
I think it's.
We should probably fact check this.
Well, the thing is like there's way less people in the ocean than there is on land, and if that is true, what you say about Montana being 2.5 cow per person,
yes,
that would make sense. I mean, I think they're just trying to make people like less scared of sharks.
Nebraska is 7-1. Nebraska has the most cows.
Let's go to Nebraska.
Nebraska.
So
there's nothing but cows in Nebraska.
Yeah. Well, yeah, dude, that's awesome. I'm glad you had fun out there. Did you go fish at all? You could fish?
No. So we wanted to, but there was nobody fishing up there. And we thought maybe we could just do one of those cheap guided things where it's like $75 for 2 hours. And that way they had all this stuff. They knew where to go. And they don't open till June. So even though the weather was like sunny and 70, 75, 80, they weren't doing any fishing. But like half of the lakes were actually frozen over still.
Really?
Yeah, it was 82 degrees.
Holy cow.
At one of our cabins, and the lake is still frozen over. Wow, so they said they all start breaking up like about now. They're probably all melted. So once it starts happening, it happens fast.
And I mean, I don't know if this is like worldwide, but like, I mean, okay, I know for a fact it's not worldwide, but as far as like in America, in Arizona, let's just narrow it down.
Okay.
I know at least the fish here are spawning, and that's like the perfect time to catch fish because they're active. But that's weird.
There was,
I guess I never really thought about that.
Yeah, we wanted to do that, and we couldn't. And we also wanted to go kayaking on some of those lakes, and we couldn't do that either because,
frozen.
Well, even on the big lakes that were totally unfrozen and fine, they wouldn't let you rent a kayak or a canoe until June.
What?
Yeah, totally weird.
Montana,
but it was so nice.
Well, but let's get it together.
Okay.
Let's get it together.
I do have one downfall to Montana.
I don't want to hear it.
Okay. One of the lakes that we stayed at that was frozen over. The whole lake's frozen, and then it's a big lake. And then our cabin, like right in front of our cabin, like the first 10 feet was thawed out. So it was like our property size.
Yeah.
And it was the only part of the lake that was. Well, just while we were there, it grew giant. Like there was like an 18-foot crack going down, like
really
towards the middle of the lake. So it was thawing fast. Well, we started seeing these, what we thought were fish, swim up to the water and like kick around, like trolling, and then bloop, like jump back into the water. But they looked like the weirdest fish, and they were super dark brown. We're like, what the hell kind of fish are these? Like, they just haven't seen the sun in 8 months, so they're like, hello. So it took us a while. Well, to figure it out, I walked out onto the dock, and when I stepped on the dock, millions of tadpoles came swimming out from under the dock, like everywhere. Turns out it was these frogs that their body was like this big.
Oh my
and then
gosh.
with their legs, they were like this long. And they were just swimming around, and then they would just pop up and like
Get
flutter with their feet, and then bloop, go right back under.
Holy cow.
This is weird.
That's crazy.
But there were so many. And then there was crawdads. So they survived the ice too.
Wow.
And so once I scared all the tadpoles, the crawdads were like trying to catch them.
Well, don't crawdads have gills? Aren't they like almost like a salamander? Like where they have gills and then they lose them once they grow up kind of thing? Or
I don't know. I just figured they were like a bitch-ass lobster or something.
Some of those crawdads do. They get big.
All right, let me Google it. But by the way, the cow deaths per year is 20. Sharks is 7.
Okay, that's not much margin for how many people are on land compared to in sea.
And 3/4 of the attacks are reported deliberate attacks from the cow.
Deliberate.
So, what I picture when they say this,
Okay.
you have a farm. You and your wife, Betty, okay? You got some cows, you got some chickens, some pigs. You forgot to feed the cows one day.
Oh, God.
One of the cows gets pissed off, finds the pitchfork, breaks into your house, tiptoes, opens your door, ninja rolls to your side of the bed, jumps up, and stabs you through the throat with a pitchfork. That's pretty damn deliberate.
That's pretty damn deliberate.
Then when Betty wakes up, or Barbara, whatever her name was, wakes up and screaming, the cow just jumps back to all fours and just tries to play cow again.
Weird. Because then now she's full of questions.
Yeah.
How did this cow get in my house? Who killed my husband? And I don't know what other questions you could ask about that. But
meanwhile, she looks behind the cow. There's a window. And outside the window is the pig going, shh, and doing like, we'll cut your throat thing.
Dude, that's some like barnyard type of stuff.
That's what I was going for. But no, it was
Here's a cow farm. There's going to be cows outside.
This is a cow farm. There's going to be cows outside. It was a good trip, though. I didn't want to come back.
That's awesome, dude.
We got friends and family here, so
yeah,
got to come back. And a job.
And a job, yes, sadly. I mean, yeah, you came back to your job like glowing. You were
did.
glowing. And now, I mean, no offense, but the glow is a little less bright. And
I'll sit closer to the light behind me. I do have a fanboy moment, though. I got a fanboy out. I got to meet Rob Bailey.
Really?
Right. So Rob Bailey is a musician with Rob Bailey and the Hustle Standard. They make workout music.
Mm-hmm.
And for the last 10 years, I've listened to their music. And that dude's helped me get through some gnarly workouts because his music's badass.
Mm-hmm.
And he's kind of like a fitness icon.
Yeah, isn't he freaking ripped, too? He's like a massive dude.
Yeah. And his wife is Dana Bailey. And she was Miss Olympia. And she has over 2 million followers on Instagram. So they're like this influencer couple, I guess you could say, but they actually do things. So anyway, they live up there, and when we went to rent out our Airbnbs, we found somebody else's name, I don't want to say it, and then realized that they were tied to them, and it was actually their Airbnbs. So we were like, oh my gosh, we're actually staying in their Airbnbs, and we didn't know until we got there, and the house was like sponsored by their brand. Like there was rain jackets with their brand name. There was like hatchets with their name. It was pretty cool. And then they did a guest book where you could sign in and write about your trip, and they signed the front. And so Shelby's a huge fan of the wife. I'm a fan of Rob. Yeah. And so we were joking like, you think since we told them it was our honeymoon, they'll like come hang out? They'll be like, oh, we just wanted to say congrats. You know, just joking. Yeah. Talking shit. And we went to lunch one day, and I was joking with Shelby that I was going to ask the waiter, like, so does Rob and Dana come around anytime? You know, because it's such a small town, see if they knew him. I didn't, of course. Well, one night we go to dinner, and or let me back up. That day, Shelby wanted to see, like, they have a warehouse and stuff there, so she wanted to see if they had a store, and so we drove by and they didn't. So she's like, "Oh my gosh, what if they were there? Wouldn't that be cool?" We go to dinner, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I see this guy walk in, and I'm like, "Look at this Rob Bailey looking motherfucker. This guy's trying to copy Rob Bailey." And Shelby's like, "What? Where?" And he was like behind this pole, and he was with some other girl. And so I was like, "Yeah, it's not Rob Bailey." Well, then he like walks from around the front desk, and I can fully see him. I'm like, "That's fucking Rob Bailey."
Oh my God.
And so I'm like, "I swear." And Shelby's like, "I believe you. I believe you." So I asked the waiter finally, I'm like, "Hey, do you know who Rob Bailey is?" And he's like, "Nope, never heard of him." And I'm like, "Oh." He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Well, I'm a big fan of his. He's a yada, yada, yada." I explained. And I was like, and I thought I saw him walk in, but I must not have. And he was like, "Oh, yeah, I've heard that name. Yeah, he's sitting over there." And his waitress is like freaking out because she's a huge fan.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, "Oh, so he's playing dumb." Like, "Nope, never heard of him." So anyway, we got up to leave, and Shelby and I were, this was at our lodge. And so we were like, they had events and things you could do at the front. So we were doing that. And then all of a sudden he walked out right behind us. And so I like looked up at him, and he made eye contact and then looked away. And he's kind of got like a scowl type. And as he started to walk by, Shelby was like, "Oh, Cody's not going to say anything." And then finally I was like, "Oh my gosh, Rob." And he turned and he was like, "What's up, man?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm a big fan. I've listened to your music for years, you know." And he was like, "Really? That's so cool. What are you guys doing up here?" And like started asking us questions about the wedding. And then we said, "We actually just stayed in your Airbnbs, oddly enough." And he was like, "Really? How were they? How was it?" And like asked us questions about them. So we talked for a couple minutes, and then I was like, "Well, I don't want to keep you guys any longer." And Shelby goes, "Well, do you guys want to get a picture?" And I kind of looked at her and was like, "Oh, no, you know, he's busy." And he was like, "Yeah, we're taking a picture. Come on." And so
Nice, dude.
So he's like, "Come on, let's." And there's like a giant
Seems like
grizzly
a super
bear.
cool dude.
Yeah, totally down to earth, like super nice, friendly. Wanted to hang out, talk about our families. It was just really cool when you meet someone who's like in the limelight. You know, he's not Brad Pitt, but
yeah,
and they're that cool. I was like, "Well, that's nice."
Yeah, stay humble kind of thing. That's cool.
So anyway, that was my little fanboy moment.
Nice, dude. That is cool. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you guys had a great honeymoon, great wedding, you know.
I did. You tore it up at the wedding, man. You're
Tried to.
legendary.
Legendary. Yeah, like you said, dude. I just keep hearing from more and more people. "Hey, man, I heard you were the life of the party." What does that mean? What does that mean?
You know what it means.
I know, that makes me nervous, though, you know. I'm not used to hearing stuff like that, and so it just makes me feel like, oh, I did something I don't remember.
Oh, God, what did I do?
Please don't bring it up.
So I guess we should get into the meat of this podcast.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch base with you and touch base with our fans, see how you're doing.
I know you guys want a little insight of my life, but probably not too much.
Yeah.
So we got the world's kind of happening right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
It's a big shit show out there. I mean, like there's a cyber attack on the whole pipeline, and gas prices are going up, skyrocketing. Right now, I think just today, diesel went up 10 cents in a couple gas stations.
Here in our town? Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I know there's 1,000 gas stations. This was as of yesterday. 1,000 gas stations completely out of gas. Then
like nationwide?
No, just in the southeast, right there where that pipeline is.
Okay.
Last I heard, they haven't figured out who hacked it, but they've been warning us that there was going to be gas shortages this summer anyway. But then somebody hacks the pipeline and shuts it down. It's a little scary. So Russia said they had nothing to do with it, which means they had everything to do with it.
Liars. Dirty liars.
But it's just crazy to see how fast society breaks down in any situation like this, just like COVID. But yeah, I saw gas prices like $10 a gallon, but it's not even just a price thing; it's just an availability.
Yeah, I think people should, like I was mentioning earlier, like I think people should start putting on their signs outside the gas station. Like, there was a couple that were already doing this, but I think more should follow suit and, like, prove that you're employed.
Right.
If you have some sort of pay stub or proof that you're working and being a productive member of society, like,
Yeah, not just driving around fucking off.
yeah, because, like, I mean, that's another topic we need to get into, but so many people are, like, sitting on their ass, not, giving, and they're just taking,
Yeah.
And it makes the rest of the people who are in, like, blue collar, and, I mean, not just them, but anyone that's working, it makes their lives a hell of a lot harder.
Yeah.
So,
well, our whole trip, we drove up to Montana. Our whole trip up there, gas prices were really high. I mean, 50 cents a gallon more.
Really?
Everywhere. And from the moment we left Arizona, 50% of the businesses that we stopped at were closed due to labor shortages.
Oh, wow.
Like, we went to Buffalo Wild Wings, and they had a sign on said we're closed now Mondays and Tuesdays because we've never seen labor shortages like this, blah, 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 blah. Like, the McDonald's was starting people at $18 an hour.
Yeah, there's a fast food strike going on, too. You hear about that?
No.
Yeah, so a bunch of fast food workers are on strike and not going to fast food, any fast food establishment. There's at least a couple workers that aren't showing up because they get paid more on unemployment.
That's ridiculous.
First it was, they raised the minimum wage for people that are working in fast food. And then it's still not enough, and so then they go to sit on their ass and get paid more and get paid our tax dollars, and for everyone else that is working and paying the taxes, they get that fruit.
So can we admit now that socialism is a bad idea? We kind of already proved that living off the government.
No, I think it's going to take our nation to shut down again.
Total collapse.
Collapse, not shut down. That's a better word. For it to collapse, to have some of those stubborn ass people see it and, be like, oh, well, maybe that wasn't a good idea. But
yeah, it's unreal. I mean, everywhere we went, we got a job offer. They're like, hey, you guys looking for work? And
really?
Even places we did go that were open, they were only open in like a weird capacity. Like, we went to a pizza place and they were like, hey, they had Italian food and all that. And they're like, all we're doing today is cheese and pepperoni pizza. That's all we got because there's only 2 of us. So it's just,
wow.
I thought it was only happening here in our town. No. I knew across the country there were issues.
But you didn't know how bad.
But once we left, I was like, oh my gosh.
It opens your eyes.
It's so bad.
Yeah, and like the thing, like, I think it's why it's very important to stay up to date on a lot of this stuff and like actually dig deep, and it opens your eyes when you travel like that, because then you see it's like, wow, you thought our town was bad, and granted it might be, but it's everywhere right now.
Yeah.
Everywhere is like short of labor, and just people just get paid more to do nothing. And
they got to cut that
sucks.
Out. They got to cut that out.
And I think I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure a lot of states are actually like getting rid of that bill, or I don't know what you call it, but they're getting rid of that in their actual states. The federal law, they're getting rid of it in their states to where you have to work to where you won't get unemployment. But
or there's a timeline. Like, if you lose your job, you can only have unemployment for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, and I get that. Like, you want to help people that are like in between jobs and they're, they have a family and people are actually trying to do right. That's the purpose of it. But now people are taking more than advantage of it, and it's absolutely dumb.
Yeah, well, they're taking it from people like us who actually work for a living. That's a concept.
Yeah, it's very frustrating.
It is. And
especially when you try to hire people 24/7 and nobody wants to apply and work.
So, for you listeners, if you want to work for either myself or for Tatum, we are hiring. We need people bad.
We need people. We need people bad. We love you, Terry.
Good old Terry.
But yeah, dude, I don't know what else to say about it. It just, I don't know how this problem can be fixed. I mean, there's plenty of people in the world now that are just like, well, it's about my time, I've done my work and are taking advantage of it, but in reality, they haven't had it rough, They're just, but.
Well, they need to cut the unemployment off.
Yeah.
They got to cut it off. There's got to be rules, regulations for it.
Yeah, and it's just free range right now to where everyone's like, okay, well, why would I work?
I know people that are double dipping, too.
Really?
Where they are working for cash,
and then
under
just
the table.
Still apply for unemployment?
Yep.
I can see that being a thing. Yeah, that's dumb.
You're a real douchebag.
Real douchebag. But, what do you do? What do you do other than keep on with your own life and carry on?
Keep trying.
Yeah, keep trying, keep pushing. Keep pushing for better.
It's terrifying that the gas crisis, how a computer code that we can't fix, they're working on it, but a simple little hack can just shut down all the fuel. Now, wait.
What does it mean when they say, like, shut down the fuel? Like, it's just not pumping fuel through that pipeline, or is it just...
Right. They just shut down the pumpers. I didn't realize...
That's weird that you can't do, like, a manual override or something like that, or they would set something up like that.
Right. Yeah, because it's all... You got to think of it from a security standpoint. It all has to be ran through computers and a secure system.
Yeah, that makes sense to where no one can just go out there and flip a switch.
Right, but obviously this is an issue. Now, where it becomes a problem is, let's say they're testing the waters and they hit the gas line. Okay, they fix it. They're like, okay, we know how to get into that. They're going to change it, but they did it. Now they hack into the electrical grid somewhere and shut that down. You know how fast that's going to screw things? And they just test these things, and then one day, what is it? It's some ridiculous percentage that the countries all ran off, like 70% of the countries all ran off one grid. If you shut it down, 70% of the country would lose all power.
Really?
I'm a moron. Probably totally off on that.
No, dude. I mean, I can imagine that being something that I can imagine it being that close. But either way, it's ever since
there's a lot here. I can't. Anyway, if let's just say for moron's sakes that it's not that way, and even if it's like each town, if they can just start going through and flipping switches and shutting everything down, we're in deep shit. Then you get rid of the power and fuel. Now we can't go anywhere.
Now you
we
can't run
communicate.
You can't run backup generators because there's no fuel for them.
We can't communicate because there's no internet. There's no power, right? And cell towers are down. When's the best time to plan an attack? Right? It's right then.
Yeah.
You think people went buck wild when Corona happened? Wait till you shut the power off and see how much looting happens and robberies and
yeah, dude.
That's where it's gonna get real sketchy.
Yeah.
So, in other news, a Florida man saves a 8-month-old puppy from an alligator's mouth.
What?
I felt like throwing in a happy news article.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
it's always a Florida man, dude. Florida's always killing it.
Normally the wrong way, though.
Yeah, okay,
so
listen.
Florida man
Florida's
eats a car.
Crazy. Yeah, Florida's freaking crazy, okay? But I would say they're the most popular with the outlandish, news reports.
Yeah, they're always at the top of the headlines.
Yeah.
So I guess he was walking along and said it was as fast as a snake. This gator just jacked this puppy, 8 months old.
Was it his puppy?
Yeah.
Oh,
I believe so, yeah. And he jumped in and wrestled this gator and got the dog out of the gator's mouth. And he needed stitches, and so did the dog. There's pictures of it's like a lab, and you can see where the dog needed stitches on its belly and stuff like that. But the dog lived.
Wow, dude.
Humans and dogs 1, dinosaurs 0.
Dude. That's insane. Yeah, that reminds me of my dog, dude. I mean, I told you the stories about
the weenie.
The little wiener dog. how she got attacked by javelinas. They flayed her stomach open, like was on the brink of death, and she's kicking now. She's still kicking.
Yeah.
That was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah, it feels like forever ago.
Yeah, she's a freaking trooper, dude.
Yeah, those wiener dogs are feisty.
Love
Good hunting dogs.
I love that wiener dog. But that's awesome, dude. I mean, sometimes that stuff just is on a whim. You know, save your dog. Don't even think about it. Save it.
Yeah.
Jump in the damn water and save your dog.
Do you really want to live without your dog? No. So
No.
just jump in and...
Man's best friend.
Exactly.
That saying is very true.
Well, it's definitely not cats. If it was a cat, they would have just left it. There's no way anybody's jumping in to save the cat. And if you jump in to save the cat, you're probably going to lose that fight.
Yeah.
Just a hunch.
Just on a whim. I mean, we're not really looking up statistics or anything, but... Okay, what do we got next? I mean, that's some positive stuff.
That is positive. You want to go dark again or more positive? We did have an order of what we want to discuss all these in, but
I think we should just keep it real, you know? People need to know like what's going on in the world. I get there's a lot of dark stuff, but you know, you can't just ignore it. You can't just go on ignoring these things.
Trump announced his new social media app.
Oh, that's not that dark.
That he's actually, I know, I'm hitting middle ground then.
Okay.
It's not dark for some people and probably the end of the world for some other people.
So
Trump is going to have a Twitter?
What is he naming it?
They don't know yet. They just kind of alluded to the fact and said it was going to drop. But what's interesting about that is it's going to have to be a computer-based app. It can't be on your phone.
Really?
Because Apple is not going to let him be on their platform. They're not going to let him in the Apple store. And Google is not going to let him on the Google.
So it has to just be on a web, like, a website platform.
Which I would have to bet if you looked up the statistics, I'm guessing it's 98% of all social media happens on a phone.
Yeah.
So I'm curious
change.
to see how effective it is or what it looks like. Is it pictures? Is it text? You know, what's he going for? I don't picture it being a TikTok type.
Yeah, what was his plan with it? Just to where like people can talk freely without
Yeah, it says it's free to everybody.
The big companies not shutting the stuff down and blocking whatever you can see.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because people are getting silenced or shadow banned for all sorts of things, whatever side you're on it. It's overwhelmingly the right is getting shut down for their beliefs. So at some point, there needs to be an alternative. But how do you tackle Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok?
Those are all the biggest.
They're all left.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not TikTok. TikTok now is starting to pull stuff down, but TikTok was kind of the Wild West.
Yeah, dude. TikTok, you post anything. I've seen some. Goddamn, TikTok is insane.
I've seen a lot of people die on TikTok.
Yeah.
That now
dying
look at this.
And like people flashing and like streaking, and it's insane. Like you a lot of the stuff you see and they don't get to it in time, and then like it gets like 1.3 million likes, not views, likes.
Yeah.
And like then it gets taken down. Like you'll share it and you'll go back to your little feed and it'll say this video is no longer available, and you're like, wow, they finally got to it.
They also take down weird stuff, or because I don't think people just delete videos that often, but there's a ton of times I'll save a video and then go back to look at it and it's been removed, and it doesn't say it was removed by TikTok, it's just gone. And it'll be something weird like cooking or weird things, you know. So I feel like it has to be them. If it was just like one or two, I would think it's the users deleting their own stuff, but it happens a lot.
Wow. Yeah, TikTok is, I mean, they're getting a little more controlled on it, but like,
yeah,
they were the Wild West. Dude.
Man, they hit the nail on the head with that app. You want the video and sound instantaneously
and be able
fill
to just
the whole screen
and swipe.
Yep, just go.
Because you know what? People are lazy. People want things easy.
And the fact that you don't have to like swipe and try and center the video, you just swipe and it locks in.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that the like button is right there in the video.
I mean, what was it? The 3 apps before there was
Vine,
Musically, and then it was TikTok.
Yep.
So it took those 2. I mean, those 2 before were still giant, Musically and Vine.
Dude,
and TikTok
Vine was awesome.
Vine was the shit. And I thought he was supposed to be making a second one.
Yeah, Vine 2 was supposed to be coming out or something.
Vine 2.0 or something.
Yeah, which now it's too late.
Yeah.
Now it's like TikTok's better.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But
that's one thing when people. Is there anything you're ashamed of, or is there anything that you've thought was ridiculous in the past, but now you do it and you're ashamed of it? It's TikTok. No one wants to be like, I love TikTok. They're kind of like, yeah, I have a TikTok.
Yeah, like it's like shamed, but then like
I'm not a 13-year-old girl, but I have one.
Yeah, I'd be that type of person that would see a trend and post like 3 weeks later on the trend, being like, "Oh, this is popular."
Way too late. That's us. That's me.
It's why I don't post. I just watch. It's fun.
I just post clips of this. So if you're listening, check out our TikTok, All Out American Podcast. You can see clips and trailers and funny things coming up.
Yeah, some of the best highlights we got. Some of the best.
We got to keep some of them for the OG listeners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've also learned a shit ton on TikTok.
Yeah, it's very educational.
Yeah,
especially like food-wise, I've learned a ton.
Dude, have you seen? Are we allowed to say names on here? Like,
sure.
OnlyPans. Have you heard of her?
Yeah,
OnlyPans. Dude,
that is so funny.
Dude, she cracks me up. I love inappropriate jokes, and she makes them all the damn time, and it's awesome.
And they're all puns.
Yeah, they're all
with food.
It's amazing. You keep that up, OnlyPans. You're getting popular.
Have you seen the cook? I think his name's like Whiskey and Bourbon, or Whiskey Fire Bourbon, or Whiskey Fire. It's this guy that shoots cooking videos, and it's like real dark, very high quality, very cinematic, and he always like spanks his meat. He's like, smack. And then cooks up something bomb and has it with a glass of whiskey.
No, dude,
he doesn't even talk. That's a good one.
I forget who the guy is called, but he's always slamming the table. He's like, "All right, guys, let's get to it," and he'll make something badass, like something like from asparagus. Like asparagus is all right, but like he makes his stuff look amazing.
Yeah,
he can make an asparagus look into like a churro.
So, business idea.
Okay,
you want to be a billionaire?
Yeah, absolutely.
We got to take TikTok, but somehow. Like, if you come across a food like that, you could push a button, and it'll be like, pa-ching! It'll give you, like, a little sample of it. Right there, hot and ready.
Dude, that's some real futuristic stuff. Like, I feel like whoever makes that happen, like, they have to, like, if you get that food from that person or whoever you're watching, they have to make that many samples.
That poor guy. He was like, I'm gonna show you this badass hamburger, and all of a sudden they're like, you have to make 1.4 million hamburgers.
Well, the thing is, I feel like you have to even have that stuff ready before you even post the video. Do you not?
Yeah.
Like, if you post that video and you're not prepared, you're gonna have a lot of angry people.
All right, well, that's a free business idea for you guys. Make it happen.
Make it happen.
It's not my job to figure out how to do it. I told you the idea. Make it happen.
Yeah, we won't copyright it. We actually want to see it for ourselves. You know how easy that'd be? Click of the button to go get some.
I don't even want any money from it. You can have the idea for free.
Yeah. Yeah, I think TikTok is the shit. I mean, I was skeptical at first. Oh, my Lord.
Oh, no.
Spilling all over the place. But I was skeptical at first, and it took me for about, like, I want to say, like, 7 months before I even thought about getting it.
Yeah, me too.
Because I was that stubborn, dude. I was like, no, I'm not one of them. I'm not going to look into it. But
skeptical hippo?
Yeah. And it changed my life. Because at first I thought TikTok was just, like, funny videos, you know. But no, dude, it's, like, very informational on a lot of posts. I mean, there's people rebuilding cars. There's people like talking about animals and fun facts about animals, but
So along the same topic,
Yeah. Anyways.
next up in the news was when we started this podcast, there was just over 800,000 podcasts. Okay. Now,
800,000 is a lot.
now there's 2 million podcasts out there. This ocean is getting deep, my friends.
Well, guess what? We got a goddamn yacht.
Oh, yeah. Aircraft carrier.
Jordan Belford kind of yacht.
Hop on our yacht. You know you love us.
You know you love us, and you will be flaunting that money, you know?
Smash the like button if you're watching on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Just
Right
like it. Help us blow up. Come on.
Get us a good review, you know? It definitely helps us out immensely.
On Apple. That's the only thing they care about. They don't care about views. They don't care about likes. Go on Apple. Write a review. That helps us get up the charts.
Anything helps, guys. We appreciate you.
But anyway, where I was going with that is, do you think podcasting... Now, podcasting's hard. It's expensive. It takes equipment. It takes time, editing, so on and so forth. So I don't think it'll ever be as big as TikTok. Instagram, TikTok, whatever.
Yeah.
But is there a point to where almost everyone has one? I mean, now that's 1 in every 150 people has a podcast in America.
I don't know. I could see it. I mean, I could see. But again, like I said earlier, like a lot of people are pretty lazy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the popular things are the things that come to these people. Like if you have a want or a need and you can get that the easiest way, whatever can give that to you the easiest way will be popular or the best thing to go to. Like, I mean, if we're just talking about food services, like, I mean, just pizza delivery. That was the smartest thing, you know, pizza or Italian places could ever do.
Yeah.
Is deliver pizza. Or just delivery in general, like DoorDash or what's the other one?
Grubhub.
Yeah.
Uber Eats.
All those. I mean, the easier you make it, like, the more people that are going to do it. And it's kind of a known thing that the harder it is, less people are going to do it. So people think that podcasts are easy. But, I mean, there's a lot of time that goes into these, you know, videos and or just the actual sound and editing and...
Yeah, camera equipment, sound equipment, mics.
And I think why it got so popular was because of social media platforms like that. I mean, people were doing like tidbits on their podcasts, and people were like, wow, I could do that, you know? And the thing is you can make it as easy as like just talking through a headphone mic,
Yeah,
you know?
you can. Yeah.
And just record the voice off of your phone and do editing off of that. But I mean, let alone you're still taking a lot of time in editing.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be this elaborate. I mean, you could just do a voice memo and post it.
Yeah. But I mean, as far as like YouTube celebrities or just pop, you know, rich people in general, I mean, they just, okay, that'd be fun, you know. And they already have their name out there, so they just get after it.
The interesting thing is I see a lot of them starting them, and they fizzle out like 7-10 episodes in, and all of a sudden they're done. So that's interesting.
Like celebrity-wise, or just like...
Yeah.
Oh.
More on the celebrity side. And they, you know, I read another statistic that was like 80% of podcasters that start a podcast stop after episode 5 to 15, somewhere in there.
Damn.
Quitters,
dude.
Hey,
I mean, we're on it.
More hooks for us. Which, I'm joking when I say that. There's plenty to go around for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I support them. I mean, they're trying. They're doing their best.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them are pretty damn funny, too.
Yeah, some of them are pretty good. Some are total dog shit. Like this shit show.
Yeah, like ours. Goddamn. But, like, I see one on, again, TikTok every now and then, and it's just, it cracks me up, dude. They're talking about what ifs and what would happen. Like, would you rather have, like, 8 arms and legs, or would you rather have, like, a body like a snake? And then the way they get into it, it just cracks me up.
Yeah, their responses.
Yeah.
I wonder how much of those that they project it like they're just coming up with that on the fly. I wonder how much of that they discuss those questions and then think about it for a week and like write down answers and then come back and do it.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I've known a couple people to be really on the spot with that.
Yeah. Some people are quick.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know.
My other question is with podcasting, TV and radio ruled the world for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And it was such a dog shit service. I don't know if you've watched standard like cable TV lately. We did on our honeymoon. We turned it on for a little bit. It is awful. Half an hour show, 4 minutes of it's the show. The rest of it's all drug commercials, car commercials, and food. And it's just awful. So anyway, now you can get a podcast. You don't have to have anybody over you. You don't have to have a manager telling you what you can say, what you can't say. You can do it whenever you want. You don't have to worry about getting a certain time slot. So, and now people don't feel like, oh, let's watch this. They feel as if they're in the room. That's, you know, right now as you and I are talking, there's somebody driving around at work, listening to us, laughing, feeling like he's here. There's somebody else. There's somebody listening, jogging with headphones in, and we're in her ear. You know, it's like intimate. No one saw a podcast coming, right? You know, there was a couple, but no one's thought it would be this.
Well, I used to honestly think podcasts were just for music. Like, I thought they were just like hour-long, like
music sessions?
Like music edits and like, but yeah, they're these. I mean, go on.
So what comes next is my question. What do you think happens next? Is it? I almost feel like the next step is got to come from technology first, where it's like my idea anyway. It's Star Wars holograms, you know, where you can just bloop, and then you can like hang out in the room with people while they're having this conversation.
Yeah, I mean,
not really like you and I wouldn't see them, but they could pop up and at any time they watch the show.
I don't know. It could be. I mean, it doesn't even have to be holograms. It could just be VR. VR is popping up like nothing.
Yeah.
Like there's so many. Like check this out. So my brother is like total geek, and I mean I say that in the nicest way possible.
Say that with all the love.
Yeah, I mean he knows he is the smartest kid. Like I know he's super tech savvy, and anyways he's super into the VR thing too, right? He has one of those
HTC Vibe.
No,
Oculus.
Oculus. He has one of those Oculus headsets, and I mean, the other day I was at his house, and he was like, "Hey, try this out, dude." And so I put on this headset, and dude, it is insane. I mean, like and plus on top of that, like the amount of games that he had for it were insane too. Like there's so many different things that you could do.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's something that's coming in the future because they had what was that movie called that was about? It was about all the VR.
Ready Player One.
Yeah.
That's.
I mean, I could see that being a thing, like where everyone's stacking trailers and trying to live, and they don't even have to leave their damn place because everything gets served. And
we're getting close now.
Yeah, overpopulation.
Overpopulation. There's too many fucking people on this planet.
And people won't get off their damn ass to work. Sorry, that was aggressive.
We're just getting softer. You know, they did a study, and just from 2014, the average testosterone level in a man, the aggregate male, is 50% lower than it was just 8 years ago.
Now, how do you measure like testosterone? Is that like in liters, or is it like is it a count?
Yeah, it's a count, and it's based. I'm a moron, but I do know that it's on a scale of like 1 to 1,000, and anywhere within that is technically a normal male, right?
Okay.
That's normal human conditions. You know, The Rock, well, he's on steroids, but say he wasn't, he's probably 900, and then you have some guys who are at 50. You know, but I think the average is anywhere from like 300 to 500.
Okay.
Somewhere in that realm. And
it's veering closer to the 300 range, and
it's dropping, yeah. Which is probably all the hormones they put in chicken and.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, it could honestly just be the whole aspect on the society we live in, too.
Yeah, we don't work hard anymore. Nothing's hard. Life is too easy. And that's what makes people mean, also, that I've realized. these big cities where food is right there at the touch of a button, here it is. The weather's always nice, like LA. Anything you could ever want in the world is just right down the street.
Mm-hmm.
Those people are the biggest assholes. And if you're listening to this and you're from one of those towns, I'm not insulting you, but you understand what I'm talking about. When you go to one of those places, the vibe is so much different than when you go to a small town in Montana where they shovel snow 6 months out of the year and they bust their ass and they have to help their neighbor and cut firewood. And you go and you see these people and they're the nicest people.
Dude, here's another thing is that veers off into like the whole mask thing, right? So there was I'm sure everyone has seen at least one video of someone flipping out because another person isn't wearing a mask from all this COVID and so on and so forth, right? And I'm going to just say this for starters. If you want to wear a mask and you feel like you are at a health risk, wear a mask. That's your decision. If you don't want to wear a mask, don't wear a damn mask. Those two people should not be forcing the other person to do the other thing. Live your own life. Stay in your lane.
Yep,
okay?
I agree.
So the thing is I think why all those videos have come out is because I think a lot of people have like this feeling of power.
Yeah.
When they can tell someone saying, hey, you need to put on a mask, and they feel higher, they feel like some sort of leadership is coming out of them.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why a lot of these issues come out and come up and
then no one wants to be told what to do.
Exactly.
Especially by some fucking random person.
And that's what makes us all softer, dude. I mean, this is all part of life. Like growing up, like you always were getting yelled at by your parents, or, especially if you were out doing stuff, you're going to be doing things and you're going to screw up. That's the whole process in learning. But like a lot of people nowadays can't take that. Mm-hmm. They can't take the fact of, oh, he can't tell me what to do. He doesn't know who I am and blah, blah, blah. And, well, maybe he doesn't know who you are, but he might know more on the subject that he's telling you about, or he or she or whatever.
Right.
But they may have more info on it,
Good physical labor for kids, too.
Yeah.
And not saying, like...
child labor or anything.
Right. I'm saying chores.
Yeah. Go clean up the dog poop.
Carrying firewood. Bucking hay, the shit you guys all laugh at and think is stupid.
Go clean up dog poop, horse poop. I mean, if you live on a ranch, you got a lot of animals that are defecating.
Or defecating.
And I just think a lot of those simple things, like back then, like you hear this a lot about, oh, I hated it back then, but now I can appreciate it, and it's true. Mm-hmm. It's so true. Like, looking back and seeing how I hated picking up dog poop, right?
Me too.
Because it always, in my household, got to a point where you had to walk along the fence line, because that's where all my dogs pooped, was along the fence, okay? And there was obviously some stragglers in the middle, but it always got so bad to where whenever someone had to do it, it was like we had a chore day. To where it got so bad, we had like 5-gallon buckets full, dude. Mm-hmm. And we'd throw them in the trash can, and it would be hauled away. But like, I hated it, but it helped me learn like so much on like hard work and what I can.
It taught you to get through those hard days where you fucked off and you let it go too long, and it also taught you time management and getting a schedule. So you're like, I'm picking up every day, so I'm only out here for 2 minutes, not out here to clean up shit for 2 hours. And
the appreciation for it after it's done.
Yeah.
Before, like, I would have to like pick my walk, like I would have to be careful where I walk, because there was a mound right there, there was a mound right there, and then as soon as it was gone, like, we could take out the little bikes or whatever and ride around out back and not have to worry about the stench if you rolled over one,
Yeah, exactly.
So, but it did a lot for me as a kid, and I don't think a lot of people have to do that nowadays, and kind of sucks. But, it is what it is, and we'll get through it, I guess. We'll get through it.
We will. I think we'll make it through all this.
Yeah, no doubt. We're America.
We got this.
We're America.
Just keep listening to us.
This flag represents freedom. We get to do what we want, when we want, and how we want, with some regulation. But I love this country.
I do too.
I fucking love this country so much. Can you imagine if we adopted Canada?
Adopted Canada?
Well, like...
Canada has some issues going on right now. But we'll save that for another show.
Okay.
Well, we've touched on some of them, but...
That's okay. Yeah. I just fucking love this country.
Me too. Amen.
Amen.
Amen and women. Oh, my God. You're going to turn that into a microaggression? It's praying. Get over it. All right, guys. Some housekeeping. We've already said it. Hook us up. We need reviews. Go on Apple. Leave us a review. If you're on Instagram, like the post. Give us a comment. We want to hear what you guys want to talk about. If you guys have a topic that's going on in the world that we're not talking about, go ahead, shoot us a DM. We'll talk about it on the air if it's appropriate.
Yeah, we'll do some research and we'll spread the word. I mean, it's always worth talking about something that's important in our day-to-day life.
Yeah, we want to involve you guys and make it a community. So hook us up, go on Apple, leave a review, follow, subscribe.
Helps us out, no doubt.
Let's grow the show. All right, Tatum, let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here. I am your co-host, Tatum.
Yes, you are.
Cody is the current host. Have a good night, guys.
Good night, guys.